Hey, once again, everyone, it is Monday evening's edition of Weather for Weather Geeks here on the 17th day of December. 2 weeks left in the year, and what a year it has been. We've had a lot of extremes this year, and I tweeted about this and posted it on Facebook this morning, but I did want to bring you up to date on the precipitation count for the year. Now, of course, today was a dry day, but we're going to overtake 1956 here certainly before the week is through, and there's a chance that we even make it up to second place on the list of wettest years on record in Youngstown. The number to beat's 2011, 54. We're not going to get there. We're not going to get 6 inches of precipitation in the last 2 weeks of December, but we're certainly going to get to number 3, and there's a chance we'll get to number 2, I should say, as well. And notice all the recent years here on this list. We've had a lot of wet weather since 2000 across our region. We're not alone in this. A lot of places have seen an uptick in precipitation in recent years, recent decades. It's a sign of climate change, more frequent precipitation events, and you can see that when we look at the graphical version of that list. We went back to the 1930s on this graphic, and well, you can see the overall trend has been wetter and wetter in the last 15 to 20 years. The last time we had a pretty dry year was in 2009. Ever since then, we've had a fair amount of pretty wet years. 2001 sticks out as well as a pretty dry year, but that has been the exception, not the rule, in recent years. All right, again, we did not add anything to our precip totals today. A quiet day today, a cloudy day today, and you can thank a northwesterly wind. A northwest wind at this time of the year is a guaranteed cloud producer, pretty much, thanks to our proximity to the Great Lakes. These clouds have been producing some snow showers, especially off of Lake Ontario up in upstate New York, but no precipitation concerns around here this evening and overnight tonight. It's not a cold-looking weather map by December 17th standards. You would expect to see some temperatures up here, you know, well down into the single digits and teens at times, but that's just not the case right now. It's compared to average, it remains a pretty mild pattern. We're going to have a seasonably chilly day coming up again on Tuesday. Now, we had a pretty overcast day today. I think tomorrow starts overcast, but the sky should brighten some as we get into the afternoon. A mostly clear sky and a little bit cooler for your Tuesday night. I think Wednesday we'll have some high clouds mixed in with the sun, kind of a milky looking sky, but a nicer day temperature-wise. We'll get up to 46 on Wednesday, and I think we might do upper 40s on Thursday, and that's despite a fair amount of clouds on Thursday. This front and an area of low pressure just off the screen here is that's going to conspire to produce a pretty wet day, I think, coming up on Friday. All right, we're within range now that we can start talking about the sensible weather in the lead up to Christmas and around Christmas Day. Christmas, of course, coming up in 8 days. And as we head into the weekend, a lot of people are going to be hitting the roads, doing some traveling and doing some shopping, and it's just going to be busy everywhere this weekend with Christmas coming on a Tuesday. This is our wet Friday. A transition over to snow showers will occur either very late Friday or into Friday night. I can't even rule out some accumulations out of this, particularly north of I-80. Whether you see a dusting or maybe even an inch or two, everywhere it's going to be blustery and cold as the weekend gets underway. I mean, yikes, that's a cold-looking weather map for Saturday. Now, nothing crazy unusual for this time of the year, but still, that's a blustery-looking weather map as we kick off the weekend. A calmer day coming up on Sunday. Good day for holiday travelers on Sunday. No weather issues that day. Weather gets a little bit tricky as we head towards Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Now, I don't think we're going to be impacted by anything major. But could there be a weak area of low pressure, as the European model shows here, moving through that could bring us a little precipitation Sunday night into Christmas Eve day? That's possible, but at this point, I really don't think it's very high impact at all. All right, when we talk about the historical odds of a white Christmas, of course, the odds are highest in the Intermountain West and up across the far northern reaches of the country. It amounts, or odds, I should say, get lower, of course, as you head off to the south. Locally, our white Christmas odds are about 46% at the Youngstown Warren Airport, a little bit lower off to the south. And again, we define a white Christmas as 1 inch or more of snow on the ground on Christmas morning. So that's kind of the definition we use. Our odds this year. All right, I've shown you this graphic a few times. Historic odds, again, at the Youngstown Warren Airport, and we'll use it as a general guide for our entire area, 46%. Below normal odds this year. The way we get a white Christmas this year is we get an inch or two of snow shower activity Friday night heading into Saturday, and then there's limited melting on Sunday and on Monday. Now, Sunday's temperatures are going to get in the upper 30s. Christmas Eve, we're probably above freezing, so if we get an inch of snow, maybe even 2 inches, Friday night into Saturday, especially up in northern Trumbull, northern Mercer, some of that's probably going to melt by Christmas morning. So yeah, our odds are not zero, especially in areas north of I-80. You know, you might even have closer to a 40% chance. But as an average for a region, about a 30% chance at this point. All right, here's my first stab at the Christmas Day forecast. You know, as far as temperatures go, I'm expecting it to be near or somewhat above average. Average on Christmas Day is about 34, 35. We might see 38 to 40 on Christmas Day. And at this point, there's nothing on any of the modeling that shows anything real impactful or eventful. Maybe there's a little precipitation, but it should be pretty low impact. Last year, the week between Christmas and New Year's was freezing. We had a lot of days with highs in the teens. In fact, every day from the 26th through the 31st last December, that time of year when a lot of people are off school and work, of course, it was bone-chilling cold. It was some of the most consistently cold weather we had all winter last year. This year, we're not going to see that. The week between Christmas and New Year's is looking pretty balmy compared to the average. I think our December forecast, which we updated at the beginning of this month, is, I wouldn't say a bust. I would say that the warm anomalies, when all is said and done, are going to be more like this. I think we'll end up above average thanks to that warm push at the end of the month, which I did not see coming a couple of weeks ago. So I don't think it's going to be a terrible December forecast, but instead of average, it'll probably end up a couple of degrees warmer than average, maybe even up to 3 or so degrees warmer than average, for the month. I still think our January forecast is in pretty good shape, though. I like this. I think in this evening's long-range European model projections out through January kind of lend some credence to our original January forecast. It should be a colder month in the absolute and compared to the average. And it may not lock in right at the turn of the year. It may take a little while, but I do think January still stands a good chance of being significantly colder than the month of December. And then February, I still think, will be significantly colder than January. So don't call off winter just because December hasn't been too bad and won't be too bad over the next couple of weeks. We got lots and lots of winter left, and the worst of winter is surely yet to come, and it may even be at the very tail end of meteorological winter. All right, that's it for tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks for watching. I'll have one more edition of this video tomorrow evening. That'll be the last edition until after Christmas. I'm off from Wednesday through the day after Christmas.